Morning Geeks. Hello, everyone. It's been a while because yet again, Barry and I shit the bed, didn't we? Not together. We definitely weren't in bed together, just shitting everywhere. That would have been terrible and wrong. Why did you want me to do the intro?
I know. I'm suddenly rethinking the whole intro thing now. It's all right. I'll sort it out in editing. I'll CGI in a different intro with a completely different person who's neither me or you.
We should just do that. We should just pay somebody to do a proper intro. and then I don't have to do this every time and then panic and say things like, "Oh, I've just done a shit in a bed with my friend Barry." Morning, everybody. Welcome to thanks. Welcome to Stace and Barry in the morning. It's going to be a bit of a doolally episode because we've both gone mad.
Yeah.
It's trying times and our brains have become mush. But, you know, here we are doing a podcast, talking to you, having a good time. I'm doing a dance. No one can see it. Yeah. Barry, do you want to say some words?
Okay. Here's some words. Air, brick, granite, fern. Back in the game. Back in the room.
What a weird selection of words.
I know. It was literally just pieces. You can just piece together from that what I see out of my window.
See, I thought you were just like free associated, and I was like, what the heck what's going on with Barry? Do you want to hear what's going on with me? I watched the movie Cats the other day.
Oh.
I regret it. I really regret it.
Is it as bad as they say it is?
It might be worse. Because here's the thing, and I think this didn't help at all, is the fact that I remember, even though I don't really remember anything about the play, I remember loving it when I was a kid. I must have seen it 4 or 5 times, and once me and my friend Jenny went to see it, and some of the cats actually came to talk to us at the intermission, and we were like, shit the bed, this is the best day of my life. So I was thinking, this film can't be that bad because it's still got all the songs in it, you know, so it's still going to be, at least on that level, entertaining. No, I was wrong, because half of the songs are, like, butchered to a point where they don't even fucking resemble. like, they just sound so bad. They're so weirdly arranged. And then, clearly a lot of the people who are in it are not singers. And then the dance routines are bad. And then the special effects are bad. And I'd also forgotten that basically the entire plot of Cats is just a bunch of cats having a talent show. It's weird. It is.
It just took a moment to land. A bunch of cats having a talent show. Wow, well, I must run to my local cinema. Well, I can't at the moment, but when the apocalypse is over, I must run to my local cinema and check that out. Jeez.
Oh, seriously, it is just a bunch of cats trying to impress Dame Judi Dench Cat, because then she'll, like, send them off to... I mean, they keep calling it like the something layer. I've already forgotten what it was. But at the end, it kind of looks like the cat might have died and gone to heaven. I don't know. Either way, the cat goes somewhere else and everybody else is like, right, same time again next year. Okay, I guess. James Corden's in it. That's bad. And there's a sequence in it where a cat unzips her own cat skin to reveal a different outfit underneath, and then she eats some little, like, cockroachy cricket type things that have got human faces. It's a fucking nightmare. It's a fucking nightmare. Yeah, and I hate it. So, yeah. That wasn't even a segment. I just needed to let you know that I'd seen Cats and I was really distressed by it.
Wow.
Yeah. Also, if I hear the word jellicle one more time, I might do a murder.
Wow.
Right, I'm done now.
You got that out your system? You all good?
Yes, I think I have, yeah. Yeah, I think I'm okay now. Whew, that feels better. It's like a weight off my shoulders.
Wow.
Yeah. Should we do a segment?
Yes, let's do a segment.
Okay, let's do... What should we do?
Let's switch it up. Let's do musical musings.
Musical musings. Jazz.
Yeah. Music. Moves.
Yeah.
In.
You didn't leave me much there, babe.
I know. In my mind, you put up a hand when you've done that, like a snake, and gone.
Oh, Oh, do you know what? I'm going to have to send you... I saw this comic recently that was about snakes and it really tickled me, so I'll post it on Twitter or something later. You can all see it at Stacey's Parlour.
Cool.
Anyway, carry on. You start, because I've said too many words about cats already.
Okay. So my pick of... Well, it's not pick of the fortnight. It's my musical musing, and this was potentially going to be my pick of the fortnight as well, but I think I'm not going to choose a thing for my pick of the fortnight. God, I really have been inside too long.
What's happening?
I know. Wow, I haven't even been drinking. Jesus.
Gee, so get a beer down, yeah.
Yeah, I know. This is what happens. This is my first day sober since this whole nightmare has begun. This is what it is. I can't cope. My musical musing is the main title theme from the new series, which has been on Amazon Prime, Star Trek Picard.
Oh, okay.
The album is currently on Spotify, and it's by Jeff Russo. And I don't know if you've been watching Star Trek Picard. I don't know why I have to keep saying Star Trek Picard and not just Picard, but, you know.
I haven't, in answer to that question, because the only Star Trek knowledge I have is J.J. Abrams movies related, and I don't know if that's going to help me.
In a word, no.
Didn't think so.
But I've loved it. I mean, the series has just finished. I watched the last episode yesterday, and I loved it. I really enjoyed it, and it's been really nice actually watching the show weekly.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's 10 episodes. If they dropped it all in one, odds are I probably would have rinsed the whole thing in like 2 days. So it's been nice taking my time with it, and I've been getting up in the mornings on a Friday morning, sitting down with a cup of tea, put my feet up and just watch it before I've headed off to work, and it's been really nice. And we've set up a little WhatsApp group after. I call it Picard Water Cooler because I am that sad. And I set up a new one for every episode, and then people come in, we have a bit of a conversation about it all, shoot the breeze, as they say. So it's been great. It's been great fun. However, the one thing that sets the tone for every episode for me has been the main title theme, because it's so, you know, those things you can get on YouTube now, which they call, a lot of them are like 2 hours of like Star Wars meditative music, and they've taken all the slower themes and basically mixed them all together, so you can just listen to it as like one long track.
Yeah.
So if you do meditation and that sort of stuff, it's kind of like that. It's got a real kind of meditative quality to it. And it feels really epic in that kind of space opera way, but without it being loud and grand, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Which reflects the themes of the show, I think. And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful piece of music. And I wanted to highlight it here, which is what I have just done with the words that I've said out of my cake hole.
Cake.
I miss cake.
I don't miss cake because I bought cake earlier.
Okay.
I mean, I would have thoughts about that, but I haven't heard this piece of music or watched this show, so cool.
Go to YouTube and search out the main theme. I think you'd enjoy it. Doesn't matter about the show, but you can search out the main theme.
I'll certainly give it a whirl, because actually that segues quite nicely into my musical musing, because it is also from a thing I haven't seen.
Okay.
Yeah, you know how like I'm a huge Hans Zimmer fangirl.
Yes.
So I will happily listen to soundtracks to movies that he has done the score to without having seen the movies. Some
Likewise.
of them I don't intend to ever watch the movies, which is the case for this piece of music. So today, a lady named Rusanda Panfili, or Panfili, I don't quite know how you pronounce it, released her version of a Hans Zimmer song called, and again I might butcher this, Chevalier de Sangreal, which is a piece of music from the Da Vinci Code.
I know the piece of music. I love the piece of music.
Okay, well, if you haven't heard Rusanda Panfili's version, I would definitely recommend giving that a whirl. She's the first violinist in the orchestra that goes around doing, like the world of Hans Zimmer and all that stuff. I forget which actual orchestra it is. I should have looked this up beforehand, and I'm very sorry. But she's the first violinist, so she's the one who does all the sort of violin solos and stuff when they're like touring, performing Hans Zimmer songs. And her version of this song, I'm hesitant to say that it's better, but it's definitely as good as. It might be a bit better. Might be a bit better. Like, I can't quite put my finger on it because, like, you know, she's a violinist and obviously she still has a lot of other instruments behind her, but the arrangement is just slightly different. But it's beautiful. Good Lord, is it beautiful. And Topical came out today. Look at me with my finger on the pulse of songs from movies that I'm never going to see.
Is it on
Spotify?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, okay. God, I'm really out of it today. I have to say it's one of my it's actually one of my favourite ever pieces of music, and
bloody hell.
it's on my my writing playlist for whatever book I'm working on at the moment. Not like I've written 15 books or anything, because I haven't. None
of us have. We've done is just day drinking. Let's be honest. That's the only thing I've done extra, like now that I've got all this more free time at home, is just day drinking. Yeah,
I'd like to just give a quick shout out to all those people who aren't using this time locked up to find themselves, learn yoga, get a six-pack, write a book, do that comic they've always wanted to do.
Learn a language.
Learn language. Reconnect with your family, and
clean your house, DIY,
gardening, and it's actually just sitting around in their underpants or lounge trousers, as I like to call them, drinking.
Yeah,
most of the day,
just vegetating with podcasts.
Yeah,
that's essentially all I'm doing.
The sad thing is that I can't even. Obviously, this person is mythical. This person isn't me, so we'll call him George. Obviously, you know, George is so miserable about the day drinking that he can't even like soak it up by getting takeaway, because all the takeaways are shut.
Oh no, are all takeaways shut? As on.
Well, all the good ones.
Okay.
I mean,
all the respectable ones that are probably not going to actually have coronavirus.
By that I mean KFC and Nando's are shut. So.
Oh no, our fucking KFC, right? That just permit me to go off on a tiny coronavirus rant, even though I said I wasn't going to. Okay. Our KFC decided to close about a week after they started delivering to our area. Fuck my life. Just fuck it. How many years have I been waiting for deliverable KFC? I mean, wow. I'm pretty sure you came to my house to do the second live episode of The Parlour in 2016 and I was ranting about it then. Yeah. Where's my delivery KFC, you bastards? Yeah. Well, it's here now, and then it was gone like a golden carrot of doom.
Even worse is having it, maybe not even worse, but being used to having deliverable KFC and then having it violently ripped away from you.
Yeah. I mean, we did manage to get 2 deliveries in that week window. Only because we had vouchers for Uber Eats. Not that I would encourage people to use Uber Eats because Uber's questionable. But anyway, shut up, Stace. Let's talk about music. This one's a good one.
Back on topic. It's a beautiful piece of music, and I love how it builds.
Yeah, so atmospheric.
It starts and it builds on top of itself and builds on top of itself, and each time it adds another layer of kind of epicness to it until it hits this kind of like grand crescendo. And regardless of what people think of the film, I really enjoyed the film. Dave hates it. I can't mention it in these presents, otherwise he goes off on one. It's a bit like poking an unexploded bomb.
The next time we're all together in a room, you better believe I'm poking that bear.
Don't do it. There's a whole rant way back when we first started doing Geek Syndicate and we talked about Dan Brown's Da Vinci Code. I might have to dig it out and just send you that clip and you'll see he lost it in a way that like it shocked me. I was shocked, Stace. But yeah, the where this music is used is right at the end of the film, and it fits the scene so perfectly. Yeah, great choice. You're gonna have to tell me the lady's name or send it to me in a message, because
I'll pop you a message.
Attempt to type it out.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm sort of saying it phonetically, Rusanda Panfili, but that's probably entirely wrong. It's probably not even close. I'm really sorry if I'm just butchering your name, wonderful violinist person.
Rusanda
Panfili.
Right, I was spelling it R-O and it's R-U.
Oh, it is, yeah.
Hello, Rosanda. Bit of all right.
Boss, you can tell you haven't been out the house very long, because normally you're a picture of a perfect gentleman.
I know.
It's just like, a woman.
I mean, look at the basis. My wife is in that. It's not like I'm like, there is no woman in the house. Wow. This needs to end really soon.
Oh, God, we've still got 2 segments left.
I know. Wow. So I've now added her. I've added the song, not her, to my playlist. So I'll be having a listen to that. So thanks, Stace.
Excellent. Hey, no worries.
Cool.
Should we do another segment quick?
Yeah. Hey, Steve. Sorry, Steve. The cat's just been delivered to me.
Oh, hello, Steve. Meow.
Hey. He's just looking like Sue just walked him in and dropped him and then shut the door behind it. And now he's just looking back out like, why am I in here?
What are you doing, weird person? What has
yeah. Hi, Steve. Right, next segment.
Next segment. Do you want to do a pick of the fortnight?
Let's hit it. Yeah. Picking that fortnight.
Picking that fortnight. Mine's only a little one, so I'm going to go first.
Okay.
Disney Plus, that's a thing that's happened. Weirdly timely in terms of people being trapped in their houses requiring entertainment. And they have started releasing every now and again these very teeny weeny little like Pixar shorts of Forky from Toy Story 4.
Oh, right.
Who is a character I absolutely adore anyway, because I don't think I've ever resonated so much with the personality of a spork, but there we go. He starts the movie just thinking he's total trash and just like not worth anything. It's like, why would people be friends with me? I'm rubbish, literal rubbish. And I'm like, oh my God, it's me. But he's a bit on the dense side, bless him. And so these shorts are all Forky asking a question to another character in the Toy Story universe. So far there's been 2 of them. There's been what is money and what is a friend, and they might be some of the funniest things I've ever seen. They're only like a couple of minutes long each, but I was literally crying laughing at what is money, like literally crying. So yeah, wholeheartedly recommend if you need a bit of a laugh and you love a spork. Give that a go.
So to stretch out this your segment a little bit longer, I'm now hovering over whether or not to get Disney Plus because they're doing like a 7-day free trial and blah blah blah. And I've asked a few people and I'm still a little bit unsure as to whether or not it's going to be. I don't know if it's so much worth the money. It's not really, but whether or not there's going to be enough content in it for me.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. How have you found it?
Well, we've only watched like thus far. We're rewatching The Mandalorian, obviously, because it's wonderful. Yeah. Which I think is possibly worth the price of admission alone, just based on how cute the child is.
Yeah.
But it's for us, it's the fact that it's got all the classic Disney movies, because there's a lot that I haven't seen, surprisingly enough. So we're going to watch those all in order. But I think the thing that might sell it to you is DuckTales, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. Yeah, like a lot of the Saturday morning cartoons are already on there, and they've already said they're going to be putting other ones on there in the not too distant future. So I would imagine like Tailspin and such.
Ooh. Is the new DuckTales on there?
It is, yes.
Okay, because I haven't seen any of that other than the first. I've only seen the first episode of that.
Oh, my heart. Oh. You've just given me a heart attack. Jeez Louise.
Take a moment.
Oh, it's so good though. Yeah, do that. Just get it for that then.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
And I think some of the Marvel. I'm not worried about the Marvel films. It would be nice to be able to rewatch some of them. But that's what I mean. I didn't want to just get something and all I'm going to be doing is just rewatching stuff.
Yeah.
But I know there's a lot of the Marvel cartoons on there.
Yeah, we're watching X-Men as well.
Yeah.
Best theme tune.
Yeah, it's a cracking
So
TV
good.
show. Okay, I might give it. I'm definitely going to get the 7-day free trial anyway.
Yeah, I'd give it a whirl and just have a poke about there. But like I say, I mean, I've got a date with rewatching Gravity Falls in the not too distant future because I absolutely fucking love that show as well.
Can I? Right, sorry, Steve the cat wants to go out. Stop being an arsehole, Steve.
Yes, Steve, stop being a beehole.
And now he's decided to scratch outside the office like he's trying to make some sort of statement. Anyway, is Gravity Falls Disney?
It is, yeah. It was a Disney XD thing.
Is that on Disney Plus?
It is, yes. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. You're obviously the person I needed to talk to who gets me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I've been trying to watch Gravity Falls and I haven't been able to find it anywhere.
Yeah, it's a nightmare because it's not really available on DVD. They've never released it on Blu-ray. And when they do show it on the Disney channels, they don't show it in order. And it is definitely a show that needs to be watched in order. And
I've watched 3 episodes on YouTube. But it's one of those YouTube ones where they're really small. It's like a small square.
Oh, yeah.
And it's spread up as well. And you're just like, do you know what? How desperate do you need to be?
Well, I mean, the thing about Gravity Falls as well is there's a lot of, like, if you've got a keen eye, there's a lot of stuff to look out for in that show that's like little clues and hints and tips and ciphers and secret messages and, like, yeah, it's you definitely need to watch that, like, properly.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd give it a whirl. Definitely get the free trial. Because where's the harm in that? But yeah, I would recommend it.
Also, you need to look on there to see whether or not there's a show called Fillmore, because that was a show I talked about ages ago on here, I think.
You did, didn't you?
Yeah, and if it's on there, you need to watch it.
Okay, I'll have a look. I've made a note to remind myself. Cool.
Right then, it's me.
Tis you.
Just thinking.
Barry, do some prep, you fucking dickhead.
Right, easy.
I'm coming in here with fucking notes and shit.
Yeah, all my notes are up here. He's just tapping his head. Anyway, my pick of the fortnight was going to be Picard, but it isn't now. It's going to be an idea that they're doing, something that they're actually doing now, as opposed to a actual program or a comic or whatever. And it's the fact that because of the coronavirus, they're starting to drop films that would be coming out in the cinema digitally.
Oh yeah.
So it's not this because I only noticed this like a couple of days ago. I think it's a brilliant idea, and I was having this conversation with. No, Steve, you're not coming back in. I don't care if it's fucking windy out there. You can stay there and think about your life choices, mate. You were in there in the warm, and now you're outside, and your fur's getting blown everywhere. Well, that's on you, innit? I'm just going to go and let him in. Bless him.
I was going to say, he's going to murder you in your sleep.
Oh, come on. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, so the new Vin Diesel film, is it called Bloodshot? Which is based on comics.
Yeah.
I think that's dropped now, so you can get that.
It has. I've seen it.
Yeah. And The Invisible Man.
Also seen that.
Okay.
Get me. Usually I am not this much on the pulse of...
No, you're... Yeah. It's amazing what the apocalypse does for your watching ability.
Honestly.
But one of the things that is slightly controversial, I personally don't have a problem with it, but some people I've spoken to have, is the pricing. And I know, for example, because Sue really wants to watch The Invisible Man, and I'm sure she'd like me to be The Invisible Man right now. Hey, it's, I think if you stream it in HD, I think it's $15.99, and if you get it in SD, I think it's a tenner.
Right.
And a lot of people have gone, well, it's just too expensive. It's so expensive, and just to rent something and blah blah blah. And what I kind of the way I looked at it is, if you were going to go and see it at the cinema, so this would be out at the cinema right now. So it wouldn't be a case of you waiting, 3-4 months. You're watching it at the same time it'd be on at the cinema. So if you went to the cinema, you would be paying what, 20 quid I don't know. I don't even know how much. I'm just picking.
I don't know, simply because I have a Cineworld card. So
sorry,
I don't know. I don't know how much movies actually cost.
Yeah, so ignoring Mary Antoinette of Cineworld over there, let's assume it's something like 23 quid for two people. It's definitely at least 20 quid for two people. So when you look at it from that perspective, I think that's okay.
I hadn't really thought about this, if I'm honest, because Rich is the one who's been sorting all these out, so I didn't even know they cost actual money. I am the worst wife. Jeez. I think it's difficult because in the cinema, you know that you're also paying for, the big screen and the staff and the electricity and the particular, the maintenance of all the equipment. Whereas at home, it's like, this is just going on my telly in my house with all the food and beer that I've already paid for. You know what I mean? So I can see why some people would be a bit put off by it. But similarly, it needs to make money to pay back the people that worked on it, who worked hard on these things.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think that's kind of where I'm coming from, is that it is a bit of a tricky one because it's quite a new thing to do, and I know it's obviously in extraordinary circumstances, which is what's brought this about. But because as someone who's not really that sociable and doesn't really like going to cinema, I'm quite happy watching films in my own house. I kind of want, and I'm being really selfish, I kind of want it to take off.
Because I'm swings and roundabouts on it, because on the one hand, I absolutely fucking love going to the cinema because of the big screen experience, and if you catch it at the right time of day when it's not full of dickheads or kids or whatever, then you can have a really good time. But on the other hand, it also means leaving my house, which I don't always want to do.
Yeah.
And the number of times that me and Rich have booked tickets for Cineworld and then got up the following day when we're supposed to go and been like, should we just stay in our jammies? Yeah. Should we just watch Gravity Falls again and be in our pyjamas? Yes, let's do that.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd want cinemas to shut, but I do think I do think there should be better options for people who don't want to or can't get to cinemas. Rather than having to wait a year and a half for it to appear on Sky Movies or whatever. Yeah.
Well, and I don't know whether or not if it became that way. I suppose this is what I mean by everything sort of could potentially change, because what happens if it does take off, and then once all of this is finished, do they just go back to the way things are, or do the bean counters suddenly go, oh, hang on a minute, we could make some cash out of this if we keep this going? And what is the impact it would have on the cinema? Would it have a major impact? Would loads of people just stop going to the cinema to get their films this way? Or like you say, is it that people are going to cinema because they want that big screen experience, so it doesn't matter that you're offering that? And I don't know, maybe you do, maybe you have incentives, so maybe you do a thing of where if you go to the cinema to see a film and you've got your ticket, maybe there's a code on the ticket or something, so that after you've watched it, you could come home and maybe do a digital download, but you get money off because you've already paid to see it.
Yeah, that would be... Yeah, it is one of those weird things where you just think... Because, I suppose the thing that this whole sort of, apocalypse has brought out in me is that, obviously there is a lot of stuff about society that needs to change anyway, and I'm a bit sad that it's taking a miniature apocalypse for people to fucking stand up and realise these things. But similarly, in certain areas, I kind of hate the idea of change. I'm a very anxious person, so I like the idea that once this is all done, it'll be yes, business as usual, because then I don't have to adapt to another terrifying new thing. So yeah, I mean, I think the problem that I have is that this sort of thing is going to affect smaller, more independent things than it would do your Odeons and your Cineworlds and do you know what I mean? It'd be little cinemas. I don't know how the electric cinema is going to make it through this, and it's like literally one of the oldest cinemas in. It's definitely the oldest in Birmingham, but it might be the oldest in the UK. It's only got like 2 little screens, but it's licensed to sell booze. Woo! And they've got sofas. Like, I don't know how they're gonna make it through this kind of thing, because like I think that's the thing that upsets me a bit, is because like I've got quite a lot of friends who are like small business owners or whatever, who are like, well, if this goes on for like longer than a month, I don't know if I'll be able to pay the rent on my building, or do you know what I mean? So it's that's the kind of thing that upsets me, is because you think, well, like Weatherspoons, even though it's run by an absolute bellend, is going to be fine when this all blows over, because it's run by a bellend and it's massive. Whereas like little independent like bars and pubs might not, and that's what's going to suck. And I think that's what would suck for the cinema industry as well. Like, if you could guarantee when we came out of this, if we were going to keep doing digital downloads, but there would still be like little independent cinemas where you could get an absinthe and sit on a sofa, I think I'd be fine with it. But if it was like, your only option now is the Odeon, and you're like,
that's
cool.
a good point.
Cool, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I do think it's good that this is what they're offering at the moment, because, like I say, I mean, I'm a super anxious person, so it's been really hard for me to deal with, like, you know, having to learn to work from home, not having as much contact with the people that I work with, not having as much contact with my friends and my family, on top of worrying about what happens if I get coronavirus and die, or what happens if I get it and I give it to somebody else and they die. Like, it's sort of, you know, anxiety's up the yin yang. So it is great that, like, there is still, like, you know, there's people doing quizzes online, people are doing, like, you know, virtual pubs. I'm involved in a virtual Eurovision Song Contest somehow, and I'm kind of regretting suggesting that I would represent Norway, but there we are. So I do think it's great that, like, all this extra entertainment is happening now, and that the world is more virtual. And to be honest, I think, you know, it's really great for people who are living with disabilities as well, because it's another one of those things where it sucks that it's taken a miniature apocalypse for people to move to, you know, working from home and conference calling and allowing people the accessibility they need to be able to do their jobs from different places. But it's sort of great that it's now happening, and I'm waffling, I think. So I'll just let you talk some more.
Okay. What do you want to do? Do you want to round up there, or do you want to squeeze in your book?
I can, like, really quickly squeeze in my book corner, which was basically more of an update than it was a real thing anyway. Okay. I think the last time we did Book Corner, I was talking about how I'd just finished the first book in the Broken Earth trilogy by M.K. Jemisin. Well, since then, because I've been doing the Bookworm Challenge for BCHC Charity, I've finished the whole trilogy.
Oh, wow.
Pardon me, done a little burp there. Oh, and there's another one. Pardon me. And they're both amazing. Really, really awesome books. Made me do a cry at the end. And as it turns out, the author, N.K. Jemisin, has just started doing a comic series for DC as part of their, is it Black Label or something? I forget. I don't know. And I've forgotten the name of the comic, so I forget I said anything. But but the trilogy's really good. It's like proper, like, bombastic fantasy stuff, but it's got a lot of, like, real life issues in there. But the author's actually a psychologist, so a lot of it is really sensibly handled, if that makes any sort of sense. So yeah, the Broken Earth trilogy by N.K. Jemisin. All of Stacey's thumbs are up. Not in a pervy way, just in a regular way. Yeah. Cool. The end.
The end. Not bad choice of words.
Seffi.
Yeah. Okay. It's even worse because now it's European. You know they don't mess about. So.
Shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Over. So.
That sounds even worse.
Yeah.
Guys, we love you. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Don't be a dickhead. And we'll see you soon.
Yep. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye all.